Mo Kill Team, Mo Money. Spiky Bits. Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Bear from SpikyBits.com. In this video, we're going to unbox and build, well, the new stuff, at least, in Kill Team Nachmund box set, and talk to you about the value a little bit, because there's a lot going on inside this $195 retail box. So starting out, I think we should take a look at exactly what comes in here and the value that you're going to find in the box, because it's actually a really interesting box. $195 retail, you're going to get the Chaos Space Marine squad with the upgrade sprue, the brand spanking new Eldar Void Scarred Corsairs squad, which looks really neat and can make a lot of different kind of builds and things, and then a bunch of terrain in various configurations that, you know, are kind of like, I mean, it fills up the table, like you can see it right there, like that's, you know, that's a ton of space right there, right? To play Kill Team, I mean, if you put two of these together, you know, it works out pretty good for half a board of 40k. So okay, I can get on board with that. It looks like you get a lot of stuff in the box. Breaking down the price real quick, the Void Scarred Corsairs are probably going to be $60 when they're released. We don't exactly know, but comparing it to the you know, the Deathcore Krieg and the Orcs that came out, and then the Sisters that came out, and also the Tau with the upgrade sprue, which went from, I want to say it was $36 or $45 up to say, it basically went up $15 or $12 in price. It was, I forget which, because everything's kind of blurring together with the price increases, and then the Cadian box is kind of on my mind too. But either way, I think the Chaos Space Marine, while it is $60 and that did not go up, I think with this upgrade sprue, we're probably going to see it at $65, most likely $70. Anything over $70 is going to be a little bit of a hard pill to swallow, I feel like, for a lot of people. For a base squad, $70. I think that will be the next round of price increases that we might see in 2023, but I don't think we're going to see it in this year right now. As far as the terrain goes, you're going to get a complete kit of the Ferrotonic Furnace. What is that? I don't know. You probably have it in your garage. Just look in the corner, look in the closet, something like that. 2 thermic plasma regulators. Those you might keep outside of your house. I don't know. You might have some pipes going to your house. Probably one of these things out there. 2 galvanic servo haulers. It's basically half of the normal box set. Actually, what is that? I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's, oh, it's the, okay, so this is the crane. You get half of the box set, because normally it comes with the 2 little other track things. Now I know what that is. For $30, so normally $60. Thermic plastic conduits. Those are the pipes. The pipes. They don't sell the pipes anymore. I don't know what's going on. The pipes are cool. They got the little plasma little thingies you can put inside of them. Really neat kit. It's not for sale anymore, but when it was for sale, it was $35. So there might be some built-in value there. It might actually be worth more if they ever bring it back. And the Alchemite stack, it comes with 2 of the same halves for the kit that GW normally sells. So I guess you could say it's $60, but it's 2 of the same half, so I don't know what you make of that. They do all these weird configurations, and I'm sure they have a spreadsheet flowchart somewhere. And then you're going to get the book that comes inside as well. That's $45. As we saw, the hardcover version of Chalnoth, they're selling right now for $45. The soft covers you can get on the secondary market, of course. Those boxes were a little bit highly allocated. More than this box. This box, there was no caps, there was no pre-order guarantee, there was pretty much nothing. Although I did hear that it did very good at retailers, and a lot of folks pre-ordered it with their local retailers, which is good. And I think there's about to be a surge in in-store gaming and in-store retail, whereas there's about to be probably a dip in online sales for any online retailers, of course. And you know, any of the folks in the companies over in Russia, a lot of great, really talented artists and really talented retailers too, are going to go through some stuff as well, you know, because of what's going on with the country and the sanctions and the payments and all that sort of thing, and just consumer confidence and people just not wanting to order from over there in general, and perhaps trying to support the designers and the studios and the brands and things in Ukraine. It's a weird time right now for the hobby online, but in store it's popping off. So, you know, definitely get on down to your local game store, because there's a lot of things happening. That book at $45, I mean, technically that's the value, because if you think about it, you're like, why would I pay $45 for that if and that's a big if, you already have Chaos Space Marines, or you already have some Eldar models that you want to use, in theory, all you need to play with them in Kill Team is the Nachmund book. So if you just have those pages from the book, you're good. And I think that's where the value comes in for some folks. Of course, you can probably find a lot of the... Oh, and there's going to be specific rules for the terrain as well, and the kill zone terrain, which I'm sure they're going to release part of these components in its own kill zone configuration, like we saw with Challenef for $112. At the end of the day, what does all this mean? Should you buy the box or not? Well, I mean, obviously, if you want the squads inside, buy the box. If you can wait for them to come out separately, spoiler alert, they're going to come out separately. Don't worry about that. If you don't have any of this stuff, it's a great buy. The value in here is really good. I mean, you're basically going to double up in price. So while it doesn't come with the core rules to play Kill Team, you pretty much get everything else you need. You get the board. You don't get a cat that's down here that wants to talk because I'm talking. You get the board, you get 2 squads, you get the rules to play those particular squads, but not the core rules. So, at the end of the day, is it worth it to you should be the real question. Is it worth it in GW dollars? Yes, absolutely. Is it worth it in your dollars? Well, I guess that's why you might be watching this video. Jumping over to the box set itself, it is a larger box configuration. The card stock is very thin, almost like any of the Knight Renegade boxes. If you bought those, it's not the really thick card that we saw with the last boxes, and that could be because paper and supplies and things are, well, everything in general is just really hard to get these days, just because. Like I said, $195 retail for this. The very first Kill Team starter was $160. That was 2018. Really good value in there for those. But it's 2018 might as well have been 20 years ago, I feel like, in some ways, right? So you can always get this for less on Amazon, your local game store, hopefully your local game store, dicehead.com, or you can order it straight from GW. There were no pre-order restrictions. Taking a look at all this stuff, you got the conduits, the regulator things rather. This is its own complete kit. That's cool. Now, I'm not going to put this stuff together because we've actually already put all of this terrain together at one point or another. And those, I will try to link the videos, in the little pop-ups and things like that. These are the conduits. Which is a great little set. Like I said, they got these little plasma doohickey core things that we first saw in the Battle for McCrag box, and they slide in there, and you can have some fun. And I like terrain. I like all of my components that do stuff. Like I want all my dreadnoughts to move. I want all my things, my guns to track and go up and down. Zzz, zzz. I want my cranes to move and go up and down. And that's just me. And this is the other half of the Servo Haulers kit. Because you only get the one half of it. This is the furnace. 2 sprues right here. We've seen this before. We've actually unboxed and built that one as well. And then the alchemite stacks. There's 2 sprues of the same one. Like I said, put these together. It's a $60 kit because it's 2 halves, I guess, or singly. I don't know. GW does weird things when they're singly. Sometimes they make this stuff cost $35. Like a squad of intercessors is $60, but a single squad of 5 intercessors, which they call a combat squad, is 35. So I don't know. Things are weird in GW money sometimes. Then you get the rest of the sprues, which is going to be the stuff we're going to actually look at here in a minute. The little poster thing right here to protect the juicy card underneath it. Oh, looks like we lost a bit to the Chaos Space Marines there. The Nachmund book, the instructions, which we'll take a look at mostly just for the new guys, and then the hard card boards right here. Now, you don't always get these ones here when they make the smaller size starters into different things in the kill zones and stuff. These really generally only come in these larger configuration starters, and it looks like the new Eldar sheet and Chaos Transfer from 2018. Which, strangely enough, somebody brought this up the other day. It doesn't have the corn symbols on it, and it doesn't have 1,000 Suns, and so any of the cults it doesn't actually have on there. And whether that's because they knew back then that they would eventually be coming out with individual chaos books and things and kits for specific cults, I don't know, but it's just an interesting thing to note. Let's take a look at the instructions now. Diving right in, we can see all the sprues that I just showed you right there, nothing new. And then we get the instructions for the chaos side of well, or the Chaos Kill Team in here. Now remember, it's just going to come with that small little sprue that I'm going to show you in a second. But you probably already can pick out, hey, that's the new guy right there. That Power Fist, I don't think is new. I'm actually having, oh, the Balefire bits right there, those are all new. And they tell you, and what I like about this, and the same thing with Necromunda, and same thing with Blood Bowl, is each guy comes with a bunch of different poses. Now, is it worth magnetizing? I mean, you could. The joints are very easy to magnetize, especially on power armor. You just put a 1/8 inch magnet in there, like we showed you with the recent stuff that came out of Eldritch Omens. We're not going to do that today on these because everybody knows you can do it. It's super easy. You just get a 1/8 by 1/16 inch magnet, a 1/8 diameter, and you know, it's super easy to do. But that being said, I don't know if, you know, maybe it just depends on how you want to set up your kill team. And we don't know what the rules are for Chaos Space Marines in the new Codex or anything quite yet. But that being said, you could very well do this, but you're gonna crack out and you're gonna spend a lot of time doing it. I don't know if it's super necessary, to be quite honest, but it is 100% doable. So there really isn't any gotchas to building you know, Chaos stuff in general, I don't think. Let's take a look at. Now up here, this is something you definitely might want to do because, oh, actually that's a different arm. So if you want to put the melted gun on there, you're gonna have to. What I don't like about this is that they put that at the fist, so it's really hard to interchange them. GW's been getting a little bit, I don't want to say smart about it because it's smart against us, but if that was on the top, it'd be a lot easier to magnetize. Now you can magnetize that interface right there still, which we saw with the Chaos or the Space Marine Captain Primaris guys and the Ancient. You could do it at the joint to kind of put the Power Fist or the claw or the chain sword on there. But man, it's just really, like, why did you choose to do that? Like, you've been doing it the other way for so many years. So that one would be a little bit trickier to magnetize if you want to do the all special weapons. These arms would be easy to do with this guy right here for sure. So this guy apparently, or you have all the options to make a rocket launcher and such. That is really cool because it doesn't look like it has a second arm holding it. So you could definitely magnetize that and magnetize the, well, I guess you could glue the bits to the backpack. You just have to get an extra backpack. It's not that big of a deal. And then you can just have whatever arm you want out to the side right there. Chain cannon is interesting. I can already tell by looking at this that you're gonna glue the top and half down. I hope there's nubs here because lining all this stuff up sometimes can be a little bit ridiculous if there isn't like a clearer, like, you know, hey, this is where this goes. So semi worried about that. This guy over here is really interesting with the new chain axe. Okay, so it looks like they just lock in there. Again, I hope that's something that lines up well. These are all the standard guys, and unfortunately, yeah, see, the Chaos Space Marine squad does this thing right here at the wrist, where there isn't a whole lot of room to magnetize it. You still can, but it's annoying. It's way more annoying than if they just did it at the top of the fist. And then pretty much normal stuff from there. You could just got some head swaps and some different things. No big deal. Getting into the Eldar now. These guys you could definitely magnetize their arms, and I'm almost wondering if these are interchangeable with like stuff like the Guardians. So I might grab the Guardian Squad recent release and kind of just check some of the parts just to see. But that being said, it looks like these go together easier than like the Guardians. Like, well, I guess you got a left and right half, top and bottom half, and then the arms go on there, and then the head, and you can put the antennas and things. I still feel like that's easier than the Guardians though, but I might be wrong. This guy looks way easier than the Guardians. And again, you got the 3 different poses. This is really cool. So you got the, I don't even know what weapon that is. I'm gonna have to look at these. And then you got the cool Wave Seeker guy. It looks like a Warlock or a Farseer. I guess probably more on the Warlock side. Voidsguard Gunner. That guy's really cool looking. All the warriors have some sort of gun. I don't know what that is, but that's pretty neat. almost like it's on the Dark Eldar side of things. Definitely on the Dark Eldar side of things. So you can build them a bunch of different poses, and it looks like they all have varying degrees of difficulty depending on which pose you pick. But man, all these poses look dope. How cool would it be if like every Space Marine kit was like this, or every kit came with this many pose options instead of just like random duders? Like, that's just really neat. I kind of like that. I don't really see any gotchas unless any of the double-handed stuff could be totally gotchas. But I like this too with the just kind of crouching, getting ready to bust a move here, or you could have the straight up Ranger rifle. Still don't know what that gun is. It's gonna perplex me until I find out. I'm sure very first comment, it's a this, you stupids. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I should have known that. I didn't really look at the Kill Team stuff, to be honest. I'm just kind of like, whatever. It looks cool. Eldar, new Eldar. People like it. Let's take a look at the sprues. And then I want to see what we can do with these as far as mix and matching them with other kits. First up will be the Void Scarred Corsairs here. And you can see between the 2 sprues you get in this kit, or 3 rather, there is a ton of options. Like I said, each one can make all those different poses. And it's really neat because, I mean, you can have leftovers and hopefully these cross over to some of the Guardian stuff. You know, and that would just be really cool. You can make some really dope looking, and Dark Eldar even. I don't have any Dark Eldar sprues here, unfortunately, so I'm not going to be able to tell that. But man, there's so much stuff on here. I wouldn't even know where to start. Now, man, everything just looks so good. Like, you got room to fade here on these capes, and then I don't know what this is, but it kind of looks like some sort of Drake hide, perhaps, or something like that. Maybe they're semi-exodite. Picked up something along the way, and you got the little bird thing, and then these are a little bit smoother with a little bit of stitch work or something like that. So you can do a whole bunch of crazy looking stuff here. Tons of helmets, some really Dark Eldar looking stuff, and then you can go with like the normal kind of punky outcast looking. I want to almost say like an X-Men reference to like Morlocks, but they're kind of Morlocky, I guess, or Reverie from the X-Men. Just kind of like the don't really care, we're just gonna do our own thing, which kind of describes everything about them. And then we'll take a look at the Chaos stuff. So here's the normal squad, or I guess the Legionnaires as they are supposedly going to be called in the future. We've unboxed and built those in the past, so we're not going to show you too much on that, but here is the upgrade sprue, which is the size of a character sprue, so it's going to be interesting what their price is at to come with this kit. Chain cannon right there, large glaive, and all the balefire bits, hopper, extra bits too. Wow, that's a lot of bits. And then of course an arm, and that seems to be takes up most of the sprue, to be quite honest. And there's those heads that everybody seemed to love so much, and they look really good. So lots of cool stuff here, and it'll definitely give your Legionnaire squad a little bit different of a look. So here is the assembled Soul Weaver, which is really cool. Like, you know, all those little spirit stones and stuff, we chose to go with that. You can see where some of the nubs and things are. Just be careful and follow all that stuff down. We're just going kind of fast, but you can see where the gapping is going to be. So, you know, if you want to use some of that super thin Tamiya glue, stuff like that, just hold it together. It'll be good. You can always go back and backfill it, like but yeah, just to get this together and kind of show you, we just kind of went fast with it. But what I did notice, and I love that blade on the back, is that all of these bits will definitely go with the Guardian. So you can really they all have that same flat interface right there. You can really make a lot of like cool looking squads from this stuff right here, because putting all the different bits and kind of things together, and for the most part they're gonna fit. Some of the two arm stuff I didn't actually compare to see if they would fit, but torso wise they look to be about the same. So in theory, as long as there isn't any crazy positioning on the torsos between the two, like a turn or anything like that, they should work. So there's the Soul Weaver. Then we got this guy here, which I think is just a normal dude, or kind of punky dude. He's got a lot going on, so there's just enough detail to make it, get in there and really crack out to paint into things and do some gold trim, or do some like very kind of like bombastic football style colors and things, and then hit up all the fur on the back, or you know, you can use speed paint or contrast or something like that just to get it done really quick. It would all look very, very well. I think this is the what is this, the Way Seeker guy with the little he was the one, I think he was the very first one we saw. And of course you can give him whatever head you want. This one's just kind of basic with no eye patch. Eye patch probably would have been cooler, Yar, because you gotta have an eye patch if you have a bird, right? But that's just a really cool looking mini. Now imagine something like this on, like, you know, a normal like Storm Guardian or something like that. Like, you know, it's just little characterful things that you're gonna have so many bits left over. Why not? That's what makes 40k fun, right? And then here's the Warlock duder. That's just really, really cool looking. It really reminds me of the old Necromunda Farseer from back in the day that I'm sure goes for a lot of money. But this is just, you know, the proportions are done right. Everything's so much easier to do in the computer and get it all right. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy what you can do, but really, really cool miniature. And the fact that you can have the bits, you know, bonus, the Warlocks are, what, $55 for 2? You can get this, and if you don't use this, or ask a friend for the bits, now you got 2 models that would normally cost you $55 in GW money for basically, you know, the cost of this kit. Well, when it comes out, it'll probably be about $60. Taking a look at the Chaos stuff, we put, I don't have any regular Chaos Marines to show you. We put all the specialist stuff together here. Now, this one I was kind of worried about. Like I said earlier, there is no indication of where the top piece and the bottom piece go together fine, but where they hook in here, and where this is supposed to go, it's all just kind of left up there. So you almost have to have 3 hands here to kind of balance it, glue it, and then glue this arm on, so it all kind of, it's rather frustrating to do. So just be aware of that you're gonna have to kind of put on the old try hard pants here to get that one done. A little bit of a stretch. The rest of these guys, I think, let me take a look, went together. I love this guy here. He reminds me of that old, what was that one old video game? Man, I forget what it is. It was like the cloaked predator running around New York City. It reminds me of that guy. And then this guy with the face, that damn face. And a cool little power weapon. I love how there's so much space in here. I said it back in when these guys came out. 2018, 2019, I guess. Man, just so cool. So much space and stuff in there. It's so much you can do and fade and just have the look you're really going for. GW really knows about paintability. This guy's a little wonky. You have to be careful. You almost have to kind of squeeze these to get, once you get the nubs, there are actual nubs, so you know where these line up. You almost have to kind of squeeze this to glue it down. It's a little weird, and I'm not sure. I mean, like, this should line up just fine, but then it was a little weird to get on there. So just be aware of that. Don't drop your minis, but this would probably fly off in an undetermined direction to never be found again. But look at that posing, this like butcher kind of execution pose. Crazy, crazy cool. Very neat stuff. Everything else. Oh, here's the Bellfire guy. Getting ready to, I don't know, cast a spell, shoot a magic missile at the darkness. I don't even know anymore. It's a really cool backpack. I like that backpack. Lots of room there to do whatever, Legion or what have you. But yeah, really cool upgrade bits. Now, we don't know how these are going to play out when it comes to National Chaos Space Marine Codex, but I'm sure they will be offered as a separate kit and have some sort of use in there for sure. So overall, pretty neat kit. All things considered, decent value in Games Workshop money. Well, pretty good value in Games Workshop money. But is it worth it to you at the end of the day? That's really just the question you kind of got to ask yourself, because both of these kits will be available separately. And while they are cool, you can definitely pick them up on the secondary market. I'm probably sure as soon as, you know, these things... They're probably up there right now. I don't even know what I'm thinking. They're already probably up for pre-order, if not already on eBay right now for sales. There may be a bit of a premium. I'd be really interested to see what this one's going for, because I think eventually when it does come out by itself, it is going to be about $70. So that'll be really interesting to kind of keep an eye on to see if that's going to be the new norm for troop boxes. So that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching our unboxing build of the new Kill Team Nachmund box set featuring the Chaos Kill Team team. I don't know what they're called. And the Eldar Void Scarred Corsairs. Don't forget, you can always get your hobbies for less at dicehead.com, your local game store, and of course, Amazon as well. If you liked that video feature, consider supporting us over at patreon.com and get back in the mail each month a miniature crate full of some of the stuff we review here, as well as some of the top 3D artist designs out there too, to help support what they're doing. Plus, discount coupon codes from some of those same manufacturers. They're yours to keep, whether you cancel or stay on. It's totally up to you. Obviously, we want to keep you as happy as possible. So check it out over at patreon.com/spikybits.